To the top left of Entombed Valley starts the Caspar's 8-player. It is a Protoss, and he is called
Ace Team Terminator.
Find out if this is the upgraded version, if we now have the T1000 in the game.
Yeah. He may be 5,000 with that undefeated shirt with the 5 there.
Well, he has to prove it though. He's up against the Terran player from Team TSL. Team SCV Live to the bottom left starts
TSL Polt.
I'll collide with that funny name choice. Team SCV Life.
Well, these days it's more Team Swarm Life.
Yeah. Team Drone Life.
Yeah, kinda.
Team Larva. Team Swarm Larva.
I'm fine with Team Swarm Life. That's good. But Team Lava would actually also be awesome. Well, now we have the scout for Terminator to the bottom left.
Yeah, he's going to scout really early here.
Yeah.
And Polt will not be able to lock him out with a depot. So this time he's going to be able to know if Polt took gas or not. And the probe will come in there now. No way to stop. Could have, should have, would have, but the probe was too fast. That probe is asking for trouble.
Aren't they all?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, right now we have the SCV also heading out, and Polt, of course, with this advantage that he has, feels pretty comfortable now. Even if he loses here, he has his 3rd game that he can play for the Terminator. Everything is on the line.
Notice the probe came back in to see if the command center was being planted or not, because oftentimes players will say, oh yeah, the probe left, and then double gas and do something tricky, but Polt can no longer trick him that way since he did see the command center. Very good scouting from Terminator. You know, a lot of scouting in this matchup comes down to luck, because it's like, well, if he had scouted top right first, he probably wouldn't have been able to get in and see this, but with all the information that he's got, he can transition really easily.
Talking about the scouting, we have an engineering bay block again, and Terminator has to see it if he wants to make sure that he is not blocked into oblivion for the 2nd time in a row.
And this time he doesn't have a Zealot, and the Stalker is so far behind. If the SCV is micro correctly, he's going to get it about to 85%.
Yeah, I think so. He moves actually back with the SCV, and he plays this very well. The SCV is not being attacked. The engineering bay is nearly completed. He kills the worker, but this is it. Of course, the engineering bay is nearly completed by the SCV. The SCV dies, but now the Stalker will have it's a pretty annoying job.
It's at about 97% completion. That is, I mean, the best eBay block you can have. You lose the SCV, that's fine. That's like one less Stalker shot in the eBay, makes it take even longer.
Just look at it. Takes an eternity.
Just look at it. Yeah, I mean,
Polt's expansion is done. He's upgrading to the orbital command, and the engineering bay is still in the game at 150 hit points.
Just look at the resources for Terminator. Go up to 600 here.
Yeah.
And will he get the cancel this time? Yes.
He cancels, and now he has the expansion. The funny thing is that the Nexus has been started at roughly the same time the orbital command upgrade was done.
Yeah, that means he's got double mules plus the extra production. The worker count, though, is significantly in Terminator's favor. He's been using all his chrono boosts on workers. He also took his 2nd gas a little bit faster because he knew that he had the resources to do so while he's waiting for that eBay to be killed.
It's going to be interesting to see how much Polt can catch up in the worker count up to the point where the Nexus is finally in the game. Of course, this extra mule will make up for the difference already, but with the additional production capabilities with those 2 command centers, he will be able to close the gap pretty soon. And let's see if he's actually able to make that happen. He's already at 26 to 30 harvesters. 2 additional ones are popping out in just a second. And he even has a double bunker at the ramp. He plays this very, very safe. He knows that with an engineering bay block, this much he can maybe expect some kind of aggressive 4-gate timing or whatever. There's always the risk, and the 2nd bunker doesn't cost you that.
When you do the eBay block against someone who's going for a 1 gateway expand with only 1 gas, basically what you're saying is I put you in a corner and I push you all the way back, and then eventually like the bay is gone. It's like, all right, now you can step out of the corner. What are you going to do? You're pissed, you're behind, you're frustrated, and to skip the 2nd bunker is asking for trouble. You're so right.
Polt now is on exactly the same amount of harvests as Terminator now that the Nexus is done. So we have currently 34 to 34 and double mules for Polt with economy. He has a pretty decent army here with 22 army supply in total against 14. He's getting now stim and all these important upgrades. The engineering bay, this time for real in the main base to get the +1 attack upgrade too.
Yeah, he did scan the natural to see the composition. He sees that there are just a few sentries. This may trigger an attack, and in fact it does. He sends the units across the map. The Observer just barely misses them. In fact, he's going to go in the back hallway there. It's the...
Things could get ugly now. The Terminator is a bit out of luck here. The Observer just misses the army.
And the second one will barely see it though.
That was close.
This is really critical, but even if he sees it, can he stop it? He's going to have to use perfect force fields here, and they will eventually run out. Oh, this Stalker's asking for trouble. No concussive shells.
Yeah, it's really lucky here. But, oh, the Zealots doing... Actually, the Zealots are nearly dead before the fight even starts, and those force fields weren't too good either. He blocks the army out, but Polt didn't even use stim. Of course, he couldn't because there is no stim. As soon as the upgrade is done, he has the chance of just trying to run up the ramp.
He could have actually, if stim were done, he probably would have just won the game right there. These force fields are very aggressive. He's trying to capture units rather than lock him out, and as a result, he will lose some. Really nice micro by Polt here, trying to make everything work with these Marines. Targets down sentry, almost gets the second one.
And now he stims up the ramp. There are no force fields, and there are only sentries and stalkers left. Finally, he has 2 additional Zealots, but are they really what Terminator needs here?
The Stalkers are being targeted down here. He does not have the concussive shell, but still the Marauders just do so much damage. This is a really good trade for Polt because losing Marauders is not as big of a deal as losing sentries.
And Terminator lost a lot more resource than his opponent, 1,500 against 1,200. Just look at all these production buildings in the main base of Polt. He is up to, I think, 5 barracks by now. Is adding all these additional, 5. He's adding the tech labs, he's adding reactors, he has the medivacs now. He has all the means of being aggressive. Even the third base has been started, whereas Terminator is just trying to stabilize.
Terminator will hit a really scary attack with his charge. He's getting six gates up now. He's got +1 armor. So it looks like he wants to go with 1-1 rather than +2 armor. He's adding a 4th gateway now. Definitely wants to attack off just 2 bases. He hasn't even touched the rocks. There's no indication he wants to take a 3rd base in this game. And if Polt sees that, he may just respond by lifting his 3rd command center and adding a ton of bunkers back at his natural.
He's adding 3 additional barracks. Chases the Observer off with the quick stim and, of course, the scan. Here come the concussive shell, combat shield +1, nearly done. Now this is sick production for Polt now.
This attack is very Zealot heavy. It's Zealot and Archon. And it's going to be one, well, now he's attacking his rocks. You know, I have to say, just like in game number 1, it's like he looks like he wants to put pressure on. He gets the charge first instead of blink. He's heading towards that direction, and then he decides at the last moment, like, oh, this is too predictable. I want to do something different here. And he's just not going to go for it. It doesn't appear. He's not making the Templar into an Archon yet.
And Polt is going for a 2nd engineering bay for the armory. He wants the +2 upgrades. There is one Observer that spots the position of the Terran player, but here we go, the force fields, once again, not doing too much. He can lift off with the medivacs if he wants to and just get out of here, but the stutter step is good, does a lot of damage.
He wants to wait till the 2nd charge before lifting, and in fact, he's just going to stick around a little bit longer. He knows there's not enough Stalkers. He can keep running. He's healing up quite nicely, and the 2nd wave of his units could come to join. There's no 3rd yet. He knows it. He's got... Yeah, Storm on the way.
Yeah, Storm is not done. And there's just... the 3rd base has been spotted. There is no 3rd. In the meantime, Polt's 3rd is already completed. He's even moving in, scans, takes down the Observer. A great position here for Polt, and a very interesting contain that he has.
Yeah, he's just saying to himself, well, I'm out of my Ghost Academy now. I know you're getting Archons. You skipped Colossi. You would have a Colossus out by now if you were going to add the 1. Plus, I've had my 3rd for so long.
Yeah, he's saturating 3 mineral lines. His economy is much better. He has the supply lead. Of course, he saw the Archon is now preparing with the Ghosts.
Yeah, and the factories in the main base, he knows there's no Templar, or rather no Rocket Support Bay there. Polt is in a really good spot right now. Terminator is, you know, he hasn't lost any big major battles just yet. But Polt, with a faster 3rd base and how long he's been mining from it, is really going to capitalize on the extra production he just started. When those depots finish, he's going to be able to sink so many resources, and 5 Marauders started immediately.
5 Marauders, the Mirror's Reactor, +1 armor is about to be done. Just look at this army composition. How much army supply do we have? 90 against 75. Terminator is going now into Robotics Bay, wants to add Colossi to his army composition. But Polt is just everywhere.
Yeah.
He's on the map, he dominates the center. He could even scan again. At some point he has to realize that there's an observer, but I don't really think that it matters too much.
Oh, this is a great position for Polt to engage. This is where every Terran player wants to engage without Storm. It's so easy to pick up Zealots here, but Storm is ready and he's got the Templar. He wants to retreat now and wait for the Ghosts. He does not want to fight against those Storms.
Yeah, he needs the EMPs. On the other hand, he could even get out with a few medivacs that he has. They are enough to pick up the army. The second wave is still guarding the entrance to the 3 bases.
The Protoss composition here feels a little bit lopsided. He doesn't have enough Stalkers. You have to have a few Stalkers in to do extra DPS, otherwise Polt's army will just kite you so much and you can also just pick up.
The Zealot run by, or attempted Zealot run by, is most likely going to run straight into the army.
Yeah. He forces a small stim here, but it's not going to be too impactful.
That's not going to change the greater scheme of things. And Polt is ready to attack. Now he has EMP, he has Ghosts, he's moving out. He's going to join forces with the rest of the army. A scanner on the high ground will enable him to get the EMPs off.
He's going to have a great concave if he sets up here. He's got even upgrades. A sick EMP not only on the Archon, but the Templar as well. Terminator is in full retreat. He is in so much trouble right now.
He lost the shields, he lost the energy on the sentries, and also on his High Templars. This death army of Polt is ripping through the force of Terminator. Even though those storms were really good, it's not enough.
Yeah, it's not enough. Another storm comes down. There's too many medevacs to heal. Too much damage output. The probes are being pulled here. The Archon is the last attacking unit.
The Protoss player has been terminated. Humanity is safe again. John Connor has prevailed. Revenge for Shine. GG. Polt is in Codes. Congratulations.
Yep. Polt back where he belongs. And
the Terminator in the up and downs.
Yeah, not the best best of 3 series for him, but he had a really tough opponent to face.
It was the first Terran that we've seen him in play against, but I have to say that his Protoss versus Zerg looks much better. The way he played against Sewashin and against Shine was really, really nice. Had some crazy strategies there, played really well, but today Polt just proved to be the stronger player. And to be honest with you, Polt kind of belongs in Codes. I would have been surprised to see him in the up and downs. The Terminator still has another chance. Next week in the up and downs, he can claim a Codes spot, or he will fall back into Code A and then has to play next season. But well, we have another game coming up.
Yeah, it's going to be Dongre Gu against Roro as ZVZ coming up here.
The finalist of the OSL.
Should be exciting. Definitely tell everyone to tune in right now. Get on Twitter, tweet at myself, at ProxWolf, at Caldor. You can mention us. You can mention GOMTV in your tweets as well. You can hashtag GSL. Tell everyone you know, get on their IRC channels, go message your Facebook friends. Just let everybody know that this match is about to happen because it's going to be sick. We'll see you guys in 5 minutes. You got 5 minutes to tell everyone about this. See you then.
Bye-bye.